Do you feel like you're a fraud? Is there a voice in your head that always say you're not good enough even if you have achieved a lot already?
We often forget how awesome we are, so we have to make it a priority to remind ourselves that. Hello, it's Ivy.
And it's Nina. How are you all doing today? And if you don't know us, Ivy and I created Abante.
Abante is a Filipino word which means moving forward. We created Abante to support women wherever you are in your journey to be the best version of yourself.
And being in love with the person in the mirror. And we're here to cheer, to support, and to encourage you to move forward and to never give up on yourself. I have a question for you. Do you feel like you're a fraud? Is there a voice in your head that always say you're not good enough even if you have achieved a lot already? There's a thing that is called imposter syndrome. So Ivy, can you please tell us more about it?
So, imposter syndrome refers to an internal experience of believing that you are not as competent as others perceive you to be. If you have this, you feel as though at any moment you are going to be found out as a fraud, like you don't belong where you are and you only got there through dumb luck. It can affect anyone, no matter their social status, work background, skill level, or degree of expertise.
Imposter syndrome is likely the result of multiple factors, including personality traits such as perfectionism and your family background. One theory is that imposter syndrome is rooted in families that value achievement above all else. It is very common to feel this, and all of us wants to move forward. So we should be able to notice it and fix it.
The first step to fix imposter syndrome is to talk it out. Whether it's a mentor, friend, or therapist, talk to someone else about how you're feeling. Getting an outside perspective can shake irrational beliefs and ground you. Having imposter syndrome can lead to isolation. Remember that you are not alone and trust that the people around you can help you.
True. Second is to be aware of the symptoms. Knowing what imposter syndrome is and why it happens can help you spot the symptoms when they rise and apply strategies to overcome your doubts. Sabotaging your own success, overachieving, self doubt, fear that you won't live up to expectations are some characteristics of imposter syndrome. Be aware and take a pause. See if these negative thoughts are really accurate.
Third is to accept that perfectionism is impossible. To have a healthy sense of self esteem and self worth, a person needs to accept both their strengths and weaknesses. Nobody's perfect, and mistakes are an inevitable part of life. Learning to accept that things sometimes go wrong can increase resilience and mental well being.
Fourth is to stop comparing. Every time you compare yourself to others in a situation, you will find some fault with yourself that fuels the feeling of not being good enough or not belonging. Instead, during conversations, focus on listening to what the other person is saying. Be genuinely interested in learning more. Also, lessening your time in social media might help. Love and accept yourself.
Last step to fix imposter syndrome is to take note of your accomplishments.
Mm.
In moments where you feel less than, it can be helpful to have a tangible reminder of your successes. When your manager sends you an email recognizing your excellent work on a project, save that email in a special folder. If you receive a medal for running a 10K, hang it in the wall because you work hard for it. We often forget how awesome we are, so we have to make it a priority to remind ourselves that.
So let's recall the 5 steps to fix imposter syndrome. First is to talk it out. Second, be aware of the symptoms. Third is to accept that perfectionism is impossible. Fourth, stop comparing. And fifth is to take note of your accomplishments. Remember that perceptions do not always reflect reality. Self-doubt can be paralyzing, but now that you know how to recognize and deal with these feelings, you can make efforts to move forward and instead of getting stuck in the imposter cycle.
It is always our pleasure to share information with you, but please verify everything you hear and see online. We attach our references down below. Share this to someone you care about because you don't know they might be feeling imposter syndrome.
We hope you enjoyed our video and learned something. And please comment down below if you feel imposter syndrome and if you've ever noticed it before. Until the next one, bye-bye.